This the introduction, yep, I'm introducing me. 6 feet, 300 pounds, known to rock the newest sneaks. Coolin', never foolin', rockin' G-Shocks like it's jewelry. Counting mad currency, flowing better than fluently. A man told me my years ain't match my wisdom. I can't remember his name, I promised I won't forget him. While all my friends was getting caught up in the system, I was slipping through the cracks, the only one they can't distract. I'm just matching up my goals and my decisions.
Neutral Corner episode 14, Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. Two of the most dominant and prominent heavyweight fighters in the world today will face off in the battle for all the ages. Welcome to Neutral Corner, where we take fighters from past and present from all prominent combat sports and stack them up against each other in a fictitious head-to-head battle, going by their statistics, accomplishments, and attributes to hypothesize who will be victorious in the fight between two combatants. I'm your host, King Kamara, the beautiful black man, the most powerful keyboard warrior on the planet, and self-proclaimed kickboxing prophet. Before we begin today, I want to remind you guys that you can buy King Kamara shirts of different designs on Teespring. There are several designs from a variety of different King Kamara and Brimeses logos. Plus, they come in t-shirts, long sleeves, and hoodies. It's very important to look fly whenever you're training. You not only want to have to look fly, but you also want to have the right gear. If you're looking for some quality and long-lasting bag gloves that will give you the biggest bang for your buck, look no further than the Title Gel V2T bag gloves. And for sparring, get the Title White sparring gloves. The links to the shirts and the training gear will be in the description below. So let's get on with the video. In this corner, standing at 6'7", we have Deontay Wilder, winning a bronze medal in the Olympics back in 2008 and has a perfect record at 40 wins, no losses, and 38 KOs. The only fighter in history with a knockout streak that long and the only world champion to have a record of that kind. And in this corner, we have Anthony Olumafine Alusina Joshua. That really is his full name, and I had to honor his African heritage. Standing at 6 feet 6 inches, Anthony Joshua won a gold medal at the 2012 Olympic Games, and it has a perfect professional record of 20 wins, 0 losses, and 20 knockouts. The reason why I didn't say Joshua had the highest KO percentage of all time is because Wilder already exceeded his record and went 32 fights with 32 straight knockouts. I would first like to give my stance and view on heavyweight boxing on the last few decades or so. People like to say that the heavyweight division in boxing has died over recent years or decades for that matter, but in my opinion, it's really not the case. It is true that for a long time, the heavyweight boxing division wasn't the end-all be-all category in all of the sports world, but just because the heavyweight division isn't at the top of boxing doesn't mean that boxing is dead or that the heavyweight division is dead. For starters, you have a pound-for-pound list in all combat sports which takes fighters into a composite form regardless of their weight class to show how good they actually are. Don't look at other combat sports such as MMA. For the majority of its history, the heavyweight division was never its biggest selling point. Its biggest stars, Anderson Silva, John Jones, Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor, just to name a few, were not heavyweights. You can even look at boxing outside of the Ali and Tyson eras. Other divisions overshadowed the heavyweight division. Sugar Ray Robinson overshadowed Joe Louis. Ray Leonard overshadowed Larry Holmes. Oscar De La Hoya overshadowed Lennox Lewis, and so on and so forth. But as I addressed in other Neutral Corner episodes, the boxing community suffers from a toxic amount of nostalgia. And while boxing will always be the top dog, more likely than other combat sports, in order for the sport to grow at the pace that it needs to, we need to rectify this over-nostalgic perspective that the previous generations were just better regardless of the talent we have today. Besides, when it comes to casual fans, they tend to remember the personality of fighters more so than their actual skill, such as the controversy surrounding Ali and Tyson. And I do agree that personality is a very big deal when it comes to boxing. Like the Klitschko's lack personality in spades, which is why they aren't as heralded as they should be, or is remembered as an Ali or a Tyson, even though they have arguably better records. But anyway, a fight is usually only as good as it's marketed, similar to how mainstream music artists are in the industry regardless of their talent. And now in the case of Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, you have 2 undefeated heavyweight champions going at it, which is something that we didn't have since Ali versus Frazier in their first fight. And because of some improper life choices on Mike Tyson's part, we were deprived of that from Tyson versus Holyfield. A lot of people really underestimate the greatness that is Deontay Wilder. This man made it to the Olympics less than 30 fights as an amateur, winning bronze in the 2008 Olympics, and he literally just started boxing in 2005 at the age of 19. That's really old to start boxing. Getting gold in the heavyweight division in the boxing Olympics or any kind of medal is no easy task, let alone getting there with only 30 fights. Comparatively, the amateur fighter Cam F. Awesome, who was the winningest amateur boxer in the country today and probably United States boxing history as a whole, has yet to make the Olympic team despite several attempts at the heavyweight division and also lighter division.
Keep up the good work. You're truly looking amazing. Some people say you're the Taylor Swift of boxing. I'm not saying I'm the Taylor Swift of boxing, but I'm not saying I'm the Taylor Swift of boxing.
Oftentimes we see fighters get big breaks in other combat sports such as MMA with relatively minute experience. For example, Ronda Rousey doesn't have any amateur fights or any amateur experience outside of grappling. During her undefeated reign at 12-0, Ronda Rousey was one of the highest paid athletes in the world and the highest paid athlete in the UFC overall. Conor McGregor only had 1 amateur fight and less than 25 professional fights overall, and he still is the second highest paid athlete in fighting today. By contrast, Deontay Wilder may not have around 100 amateur fights like Mike Tyson, but compared to a lot of other athletes, especially MMA fighters, he has definitely put in the work in his career. You can't just have 30 fights and make it to the Olympics to win a bronze medal just based off your size. Deontay Wilder was also the only American to win a medal at the 2008 Olympics. You know who else was on the 2008 American boxing team? Fighters like Gary Russell, although Gary Russell was disqualified for not making weight. In 2012, Earl Spence was on the Olympic team and he didn't even win a medal. And he's arguably the best welterweight in the world today. In fact, nobody from the men's U.S. boxing team won any medals in 2012. But shout out to Clarissa Shields for winning gold and Marlon Esposito for winning bronze in 2012 Olympics. Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, has also made it to the Olympics with a relatively minute amount of experience. He was only boxing for a few years before winning international tournaments and winning Olympic gold back in 2012. Again, I love Anthony Joshua, and if I didn't know any better, I root for him just based on the fact that both of us are African and Muslim. But people really be overhyping Anthony Joshua. Joshua did beat Vladimir Klitschko, but Klitschko was 41 years old at the time. And on top of that, Klitschko didn't compete for 2 years at the time he fought Joshua. And 2 years before that, he was knocked out by Tyson Fury. Joshua was very active ever since he turned pro and was still in for the fight of his life against an aged Klitschko. People still praised him for his victory, or rather the powers that be, only because they knew what they were doing in designing the setting for the heavyweight super fight that we're going to have soon. More so, I remember how much they criticized Mike Tyson for beating a 38-year-old Larry Holmes, who didn't compete for almost 2 years, and his prior fight was a split decision loss against Michael Spinks. Deontay Wilder had been in deep waters with 2 undefeated champions and knocked them both out. Wilder's mettle and tenacity has been tested more so than Joshua. Wilder is not only someone that knows how to get the knockout, but knows how to get the win. I know people don't like hearing this, but I believe Wilder would have beaten Ali. If George Foreman had good lateral movement and a little bit better technical skill, he would be Deontay Wilder. Ali wouldn't be able to rope-a-dope Wilder like he did Foreman because Wilder would come off at angles and sidestep. Plus, Ali wouldn't be able to clinch as much in today's rule set. People don't get it. His Foreman technique is not trash, it just looks like trash. Wilder is super athletic, he has great eyes, his distancing and timing is impeccable, unfortunately. He's an agile tank. Do you know what an agile tank looks like? The Batmobile from Batman Arkham City, aka Deontay Wilder.
Batman, my plans are too weak.
Then tell me where to...
Anthony Joshua is a great fundamentalist. He's very technical sound. He has the power of a young Mike Tyson. But Anthony Joshua has not fought a fighter like Deontay Wilder. That being said, I wouldn't be disappointed if Anthony were to win. In fact, I'll be very proud of him and I will fully commit to that bandwagon. But if betting weren't against my religion, I would bet the house on Deontay Wilder. I feel that he's more equipped for this occasion than Joshua, and we still need Joshua to get past Parker so that this dream fight comes true. Anyway, that wraps up Neutral Corner episode 14. Who do you guys think will win this unprecedented heavyweight clash of titans? Let me know in the comments, as well as matchups you would like me to analyze in the near future. Harsh comments towards me are always accepted. Just please be respectful amongst each other. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and remember to purchase King Kamara shirts and purchase some top of the line training gear so that you can walk in the image of Brian Muses while you train. With that being said, it's your boy, King Brian Muses Kamara, Combat Sports Prophet. I will see you guys next time for Neutral Corner episode.
This the introduction. Yep, I'm introducing me. 6 feet, 300 pounds, known to rock the newest sneaks. Cool and never fooling, rocking G-Shocks like it's jewelry. Counting mad currency, flowing better than fluently. A man told me my years ain't match my wisdom. I can't remember his name. I promised I won't forget him. While all my friends was getting caught up in the system, I was slipping through the cracks, the only one they can't distract. I'm just matching up my goals and my decisions. Whatever ain't in the picture.